What is up, my friends? We are here in downtown Elkhart, Indiana, and right behind me is the brand new Heart City Social Club. It's a brand new tattoo shop. Owner Nick Green just opened up, and today we're going to go in, give you guys a tour. We're going to sit down with Nick, talk about the shop, and show you all around. This is episode 31 of The Business of Tattooing. So we are here inside the Heart City Social Club with owner Nick Green. Nick, let's talk about this beautiful space that you've created here in downtown Elkhart. It is amazing in here. It's great. It reminds me of what tattoo shops used to look like.
Yeah, man.
It's been a long time since I've been in a shop that has a bunch of flash on the walls like this, and I'm looking around at all the flash, and you know, there's just a bunch to talk about. But before we do, tell me everything you want to tell me about Heart City Social Club, why you chose to open up downtown Elkhart, the name, tell me everything. I want to know all of it.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Well, first off, I just want to thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Like, cool spot. I love being downtown Elkhart. Heart City. Okay, let's start with that. So Heart City, Elkhart's known as the city with a heart. So, I mean, it's pretty just bare bones. There it is, Heart City Social Club, you know? Mm-hmm. And we went with Social Club because we wanted it to be a place where people with like-minded kind of ideas and love for art could come and just like hang out. It's a shop where you can hang out. You can come and say like, hey man, what's new flash? You know, you can just look around. You don't have to get tattooed. You can just be here and be part of it. We really wanted to offer that to the community. We thought it was a really good thing to bring to Elkhart. The shop's kind of vibed off to every shop that I've been to with traveling. I've traveled for like the last decade of my life tattooing, and I really wanted to bring a little bit of that sprinkling of love from all over the country right here. When you walk in, you're going to see vibes of like Brooklyn shops. You're going to see vibes from like out west in California. You're going to see stuff from like when I went over to England, how they would like set up kind of some of the shops over there. It's all kind of modeled off of everybody else's idea to bring one idea. Kind of like a traditional tattoo. Mm-hmm. You know? You see the clipper ship. How many times have you seen a clipper ship? Several times, but everybody puts a little flavor on it that they take from here and there. Mm-hmm. So kind of give that whole different kind of thing to Elkhart.
Yeah, it's funny because we were talking, this used to be a hot dog restaurant. I remember coming, I grew up in this town, so I remember a lot of stuff and what used to be in buildings and whatnot. But I remember ordering hot dogs in here, and it's quite a bit different than when it was a hot dog place, clearly. Tell me about all the renovations you did in here, what it looked like when you got the space, how much, how long did it take you to build this out? How'd you come up with the vision for this? I mean, I'm looking around at all the details in here, and I've got, like these flash racks that you have on the wall, like how'd you plan all this out?
Yeah, man. So we actually looked at the spot next door first, and it was a little bit bigger than everything we wanted to do. So we were talking to the landlord, and John's our landlord. He'll probably be talked about quite a bit in this podcast. He made a lot of this possible for us, honestly. But we were looking at the spot next door, and we were just like, oh, John, we'd love to be here, but it's just too big. He's like, I have this spot next door. And I knew this spot from when it was the hot dog shop, too. And I was like, I'd love to see it if you wanted to rent it. So we came over here, and it was just bare bones. The bathroom that's behind me was just studs, not piped, nothing, just studs, kind of laid out. All the drywall had old holes in it from when the hot dog shop was here, when they had to run their equipment, and I came in and I just saw it, dude. I just saw like this could be a walk-in traditional style flash shop. This wall that's over here, we're calling it the gallery wall, because it could always be a flash wall, or you could take it all down, hang big paintings there, whatever you wanted to do. The landlord, John, was like, we we don't really want to put too many holes in the brick. And I was like, I can understand that. So I sat down with my wife, Becca, and we were like, well, what can we do to utilize that space that way it's just not a big brick wall? And I was like, well, what if we build like a faux wall on top of it that everything can be attached to? So this wall is held up with like 25 tap cons, and then everything else is on top of it. So I think this wall has 75 sheets of flash on it at any given time.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I noticed you just have all the frames slid in behind these little locking mechanisms there, so you can just swap those out whenever you want and put different flash up there.
Yeah, so that's kind of the plan too. Like we'd like to have new flash coming up at least every quarter. Would be cool to
Same
have that.
thing with behind us here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The goal is to have Mike and I, and then eventually Becca, paint the whole shop. Like the whole shop when you come in will be just flash sheets from us.
Yeah. I don't assume this is a flash shop, right? It's not like come pick a tattoo off the wall and get it tattooed. I mean, I assume you could if you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you're still doing a lot of custom tattoos. And are you ever going to put flash racks up in here and run it like that?
I don't think so. I think it'll just be kind of how it sits right now. But we really do want to encourage people to come pick stuff off the wall. Like it's there to get tattooed. Like these, most of the stuff that's on the wall will come from friends of ours or like people that we've met through traveling, and I think it's really cool. And that's part of the tradition of traditional tattooing. Obviously the name, but that's the part is to keep that going on. So if people pick that off the wall, that design gets to live on longer. I think that's really important in tattooing. That designs that are worth being on the body keep getting put on the body, you know? Like, a chest eagle, when you see it from across the room, it's like, oh yeah, I've seen that one 100 times, but that's what's cool about it is you've seen it 100 times, but each one has a little bit of a different flair. And I think that you could pick it straight off the wall, or you could come to us and say, I like this, but can we do this? And absolutely that's an option.
Yeah. Do you know how many artist flash you have in the shop?
I don't. They're just, I know that this wall right here has 7. This wall is just one person right now. I mean, I'm going to guess there's 50 or 60 different artists on the wall right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I noticed you had some of your own out here in the front.
Yeah, the front's going to be the most stuff that's rotated, so the front will be all artists that are working in the shop or have worked in the shop. Like when we have events, sometimes we have sheets that are gifted to us, and those sheets will be put out front to continue to be tattooed.
Sure. So like when you did your grand opening, then is that what you tattooed at your grand opening, the Heart City Social Club tattoos?
So
I saw that stencil hanging up there.
Yeah, so I did that tattoo. That was the first tattoo I did in the shop, and it was on Becca.
Okay.
And she's the only one that has it right now. So at the grand opening, we had like Billy White and Jen Siegfried and Mike Bradley, and then Mike White, who works here. He's a resident artist. We all made sheets for these, and everything had to focus on like Heart City, and in some way have a heart involved in it to bring that kind of motif to the city real quick, And it went off real good, dude. It was pretty cool to see everybody turn out for that.
Yeah, you said you had a good turnout for the weekend. I would imagine you would. I mean, I kept driving by here for the last couple months, and you were working out in Goshen at Hannah's shop, and I was stopping in there because my fiance was getting tattooed in there, so I was coming in there, and we were talking about it, and I was driving by here, and I kept seeing all the guys through the windows working, and I was like, dang, man, Nick's really putting some time in that place. Like, eventually I drove by, and I started seeing the flash going up on the walls, and I was like, oh, that's going to be a cool shop. Yeah,
man, it was really cool. It took us 8 months to build out, so I feel like it was fast but also slow at the same time. Being a first-time business owner, and I was just like, oh, yeah, man, we're going to get the shop open in like 3 months. We'll be ready to rock and roll, dude. I'm making tats in here by tax time. No problem. No, it didn't happen like that. But I feel like every bit of waiting was completely worth it to bring the vision closer to completion and not just rush things to get done to be starting to make tattoos in here.
Yeah, and that's a good segue into what we were talking about earlier, because we were talking about different places that you were looking at before you actually ended up here. And let's talk a little bit about that, because after I listened to you, I was like, oh, dude, it's totally fate that you're here. Like, this was supposed to be where you're at. Like, so tell me some of that. And we didn't get too far into it because I told you to save it for the podcast. So.
Yeah, this building is really cool. We looked at a couple other spots before here, and then we met with John, who, again, the landlord, but we met with John, and he was just like super interested in our vision. You know, we sent him a vision board of like, here's kind of what we're thinking, and it just clicked with him. He's like, yeah, you guys got to be here. So during the build out, we met a lady. Her name was Deb Rao, and she's the granddaughter of the person who built this building. So we got to find out a little bit more history about what happened and what this building used to be. And as the Rao building was built, it had 3 stories on it. Now it only has 2. It had one of those cool like onions that you kind of see on top of buildings like back in the day. And that caught on fire. But when it first opened up, this whole building on this side was a saloon. Like super cool, you know. They had the whole bar that ran down the whole thing, the bar rail and all that stuff. And then upstairs was a bathhouse.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty wild up there. And then that caught on fire and burnt down. And then this turned into just the saloon, and then Prohibition came, and then it was no longer the saloon. It was just a soda shop, but they ran a speakeasy downstairs.
Okay.
So there's a still downstairs, and I'll show you this in a little bit, but there's some floor joists down there. The still caught on fire, and it actually burned some of the basement joists and stuff like that down. There's a lot of fire that happens here, so
let's do that.
Hopefully leave the fire in the past, but you know. So Deb was telling us about that, and then eventually it became another soda fountain that she ran later on in history. And so 2 soda fountains. That soda fountain closed, and the hot dog shop opened up in here. Now the building, like the unit right next to us, was a art gallery. It was a frame shop. There's another frame shop that's looking at going in next door. I feel like it's very cyclical of the things that are kind of going on in here. You know, and this building is like known for being creative. Is like the Rouse did a lot of stuff that was creative for our community. So I just think that it's kind of fate that we ended up here. When we were doing the renovation, you get a kick out of this. When we were doing the renovation, Deb was here. She said, "Have you seen the walls in the brick?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, like we've been working on." She's like, "Have you seen any coins in the walls?" I'm like, "Yeah." I just thought it was kind of weird. She's like, "Yeah, people would leave coins in the walls to pay for the next person who's getting like something at the soda fountain."
Oh wow.
And then she told us about there's like some wooden pegs in the walls too. And if you see them over there kind of in the corner, there's these wooden pegs in the wall, and some of them pull out, and there's like a note that's left in there.
Oh really?
Yeah. So, and the day that she was here, we pulled out one of these notes, and on that note was the same date that we pulled it out. Like, that was the day.
Well, years before.
Later, years before.
Got you.
Crazy thing is, my wife's friend is who wrote the note. It's her great-granddaughter.
Really?
Yeah, dude. So, like, it's just crazy that all these things lined up. Like, everybody kind of knows each other that's in this building.
Yeah, that's wild.
Crazy. So it just really feels like home here.
And then you were telling me something about your grandpa, too, who's right here behind us.
Yeah, so that's my grandpa. He was, like, pretty big in my childhood. He was an engineer for the New York Central train line. That's why I have this train up here. And, like, right across the street is the New York Central Train Museum. And there's over 100 trains that go by every day. It was just, like, kind of just really weird how it's pulled to this spot. Like, I've always driven by this spot. I've been in Elkhart, and, like, that spot's so cool.
Yeah.
It's just so cool. And the windows are big and just lets in so much light. And to be here is just something special, I think.
Yeah. It is. It is cool. Like I said, I think you've, we can say whatever we want to say about Elkhart, but I think you've definitely brought a breath of fresh air to downtown. You know, I think this town needs places like this down here. It needs more places like this, more artistic places, more creative spaces. I think that this is going to help the community out a lot here.
I think you're going to be seeing that more too, as like this administration's working with a lot more creative people to bring more art and creativity downtown. I think that you're going to see that a lot more. More of these buildings are opening up and being a little bit more open to the possibilities, instead of just, it's got to be a bank, or it's got to be a lawyer, 9 to 5 only. I think that you're going to see a little bit more nightlife starting to happen here in Elkhart too.
Yeah.
And I mean, the hotel, I think, is going to they just redid the hotel a few years ago, and I think that's going to make a big difference to everything that's happening in Elkhart. There's a place to stay instead of having to stay on the opposite sides of town. And, and then they're trying to beautify the city too with all new roadways and making street parking easier and getting rid of the one ways. That way you can travel down the roads and see what's actually happening down here instead of just using it as a thoroughfare. Just you don't stop. You don't even take a look. You just focused on what's ahead of you.
Yeah, they're putting a lot into the Riverwalk area over there in the Delta and all that stuff. And yeah, it's a lot different than it was when I was a kid here for sure. I mean, some stuff's still the same, but there used to be a pool hall right across the street next to the post office over here. I mean, you still got a really cool art museum right downtown here.
Yeah, the art museum is really cool.
Yeah.
And then there's all new restaurants coming in too, so that's really, even though it's not tattooing, it's still creative with all these different types of restaurants, because until a couple years ago, you got an option of a burger or a fried chicken sandwich downtown, and now you got ramen coming in, and there's new Caracas coming in down here doing Venezuelan kind of food. It's just really cool to see that the chefs coming in downtown and being very creative. There's the old 5-Star finally is getting up and running. It's going to be trackside Grand Junction. So that's going to be really cool. I think that's going to offer a lot of cool things to do downtown and bring a nightlife, because they're going to have shows and music and all different kinds of things to do. And I think it's going to be cool to work in unison with those buildings, making downtown a cooler space for everybody to enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so today on the way over here, I was like, how many times have I been tattooed by Nick? And I think I've gotten 5 tattoos from you now.
Yeah, I think about 5.
Now I'm going to have to get 6 because I got to get tattooed here.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
But
I just told you at lunch, I'm like, I don't even want to get tattooed anymore.
No, I don't blame you.
But I feel like it's almost it has to happen kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
I got to get
We'll just do something small.
We'll just do some little Heart City tattoo here, right? Yeah, that'll be cool. I'll come in and get that done. But yeah, let's talk about some of the other stuff in here. You got the big elk's head up here. I'll see a lot of Justin Lim in here.
Yeah, man, Justin's a good friend of mine, and he came out and he crushed our windows, man. Just put a bunch of gold leaf and some spun copper on it, and made the building look beautiful on the outside. And if you come inside, you'll see a lot more of his stuff in here. We think we've got a few fish hanging up, and I guess we'll talk about some other stuff that's in here too. I've got this fish up here in this corner. I caught
big pike.
Yeah, I caught that. It's tiger muskie from Detroit, man. That was a good time. Paintings all from people that we love and we've met along the way of this journey. I've been tattooing now for 15 years, so everything in here is in some way a gift or a memory of that person I've met, and I just love having their art up on the walls.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people are like, well, where's your stuff? And I'm like, well, I draw my stuff. I tattoo my stuff every day. So if I have this stuff on the wall, it's memories of those times or inspiration. How would this person kind of come about this tattoo? Behind me, I have Mike Fight's Last Dragon painting, and Mike was a pretty big pillar in my tattooing coming up. He was the first person to give me an honest critique of my portfolio, and so when I see his paintings back here, I think, well, how would Mike go about maybe tattooing this in a way that maybe I wouldn't think of, and just how can I make that tattoo more true to myself and to the root of traditional tattooing, Mm-hmm. If you go around the room here, there's more Japanese stuff. With Mike working here, we've hung up quite a bit of Japanese styled artwork. So I've been really interested in that too, because I don't tattoo a lot of Japanese stuff, but it's really cool to hear Mike talk about the stories and all the lore behind each Japanese image.
Mm-hmm.
That's been really cool. So the more Japanese imagery that's in here, it's just it's a learning experience for me too. So I like that. And then you just kind of look around and there's just a little bit of everything. There's something for everybody in this place. I think.
Yeah, I like it. And I asked you before we got on the podcast what was the most significant thing that you have in the shop, and you pulled out this acetate of Mike Fight. And since you just talked about him, that's a good time to talk about that. But you don't have to pull it out. But it's a dragon, and you said this is an acetate of a tattoo that he did on you.
Yeah, for sure. I got that tattoo in 2014 at the meeting in the Marked, and that was the first time I met Mike, and he was working in the booth with Crooked Ken, and yeah, man, that was such a eye-opening experience for me. I was still a young tattooer, not green, but still pretty young in my career, and I just I watched Mike put this thing on me, and just crush it out in like an hour. And I was just like, oh my God, dude. Oh my God. And it hurt so bad, but it was like, it was just like, holy shit, dude. Like, this guy can fucking tattoo fast. And it looked good and it healed good. And yeah, he kind of changed tattooing for me in a big way. I think like the most influential people in tattooing for me was Mike, and then definitely my brother Billy White from Red Rose Tattoo has like changed tattooing for me too in so many ways. He's got the dragon painting, the battle royale scene behind you there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Bill's been pretty influential in my tattooing as well.
Yeah, this is cool, man. I really dig this place, man. This is super cool. The
Thanks
vibe
so
in
much,
here is
dude.
good, man.
We didn't really get to talk about it, but I think one of my favorite spots, my favorite things in this shop is the lighting up top, the like Art Deco chandelier kind of things we did. Mm-hmm. I thought that was cool. I felt like it just really went with this whole building, and I saw them and I was like, we have to have those. Those look so good. Like they just looked great in here, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting because when you come in here, it almost feels like you had an interior designer like help you with some of this. Even I was talking about some of this retro furniture and like, but you guys just did all this on your own.
Yeah, we did it all. Yeah, Becca and I would just sit down and figure out, well, how do we want this place to look? You know, what do we want it to feel like? And I just kind of felt like I don't want it to feel like a tattoo shop. I want it to feel like when you walk in that you're coming into my house almost, you know, like this is my house. Like I want you to feel welcome. I want you to feel like, oh wow, this is curated for people to be in it. It's not just, and no offense, but it's just not metal toolbox in the corner. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then and is the toolbox a little bit more functional than this? Absolutely it is, but it's the vibe. It kind of like form over function on this time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For this, but
yeah,
I do love it. I think there's a lot of room in these stations, but I don't know. I've tattooed out of a toolbox for 15 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just different. A toolbox or a folding table, you know, at a convention hall.
Yeah. No, it's cool. You got all the machines up here on the wall, and this is just super cool. Super cool. Got your sinks over here. Yeah, dude. Really proud of you, man.
Thank you, man.
I've been watching you for a long, long time, man.
Yeah, we've been friends for a long time, dude.
Yeah, you've been at a lot of different shops. You've bounced around a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is... No, really, it's shop number 4 for me. I was at a place over there, over in South Bend. You know, that's another thing, too. Like, going to these different shops, it teaches you a lot, too. Like, teaches you how you want things to be and how you want things to run, you know. Like, working for Dave Martin over at Bicycle Tattoo, he showed me the way, dude.
Yeah.
This is how a shop's supposed to work.
Yeah.
You know, he was the guy, you know.
Yeah.
And I took a lot of information and a lot of what Dave does into heart when I built this place. Like, he's works pretty much by appointment only. Mm-hmm. But when you walk into his shop, you feel welcome, you know. And I wanted that to be something that happened over here. Like when you come into Heart City, you might feel a little nervous, but you're going to be family by the time you leave.
Right.
And we want that.
Yeah, he definitely had that vibe with Bicycle, and I remember even back when he was building that shop out in that same kind of approach in that shop. Yeah, it was it's good to see this, man. You know, I think traveling around and seeing different shops, you know, you can definitely tell when people put their heart and soul into their craft, and you've definitely done that here.
Every bit of it I have to.
Dude.
Every bit of my heart and soul's here. And I'm just so excited for people to come in, take a look around, pick up a tattoo.
Yeah. What's the address here?
700 South Main, Elkhart, Indiana.
Right across
46516.
Right across from the post office.
Right across from the post office. It's all street parking, but there's tons of street parking.
Yeah. How can people get a hold of you if they want to get a tattoo here?
So you can get a hold of us on social media, on our Instagram, Heart City Social Club, at Heart City Social Club, or our personal Instagrams are linked there. We're also on Facebook, Heart City Social Club there, or www.heartcitysocialclub.com.
Got a phone number?
Phone number is 574-361-3666. 2583. I love tattooing so much that I just got business cards for the first time in 8 years last week. You know?
Yeah.
No, everything's just been on social media, so it's all linked on our cards now. But once again, 574-361-2583.
Perfect. All right, it's perfect.
Cool.
Perfect. Yeah. So what's next for you, man? I mean, this is a big step. You got to take a break now, right? You're going to go on a vacation somewhere and decompress a little bit now.
No, back to work. Back to work. I've been working on this thing for 8 months. I'm going to live here. I mean, a vacation sounds nice, but no, I've got plans to go down to Red Rose. I haven't been down to Red Rose in almost a year now, so I got to get down to Zanesville, Ohio. I'm going there next month. Then it makes, for September would be next travels, go out to the Love City Tattoo Festival out in Philly. And then October down to Marietta, Ohio for the Bazaar. Yeah, just a whole fall of traveling and get back to it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you were spending a lot of time on the road, so you're still planning on doing that, going out and doing some guest spots and stuff like that?
Yeah, I actually plan on doing it a little bit more than I have been since COVID. COVID, I kind of took a break, man. I just kind of stayed home. You know, I got married over that time and just kind of just stayed off the road a little bit more. But now that I'm here, I've found like this new love for tattooing again, and I just want to go out and I want to spread the word about the shop being open. And I've got a good person to hit the road with Mike now. So, like, booth partner, you know, so I'm not alone just by myself making tattoos in this booth by myself, you know. So it's I'm really excited to travel again. I think next year we might try to travel and do that Dublin show over in Ireland and maybe try to do that Cape Town show.
That'd be dope.
Yeah. So I'm just ready to hit the road again, you know, have this place be home and then see what else is out there.
Yeah, we were talking over lunch, and you said it's been a while since you've done a convention, right?
Yeah, well, I did one this year, but since 2019 before then.
You were doing them a lot before.
One a month at least.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, so why'd you pull back on that? I mean,
COVID just put a big stop to everything for me. And then I had heard through the grapevine that things had just changed in tattooing, and I feel like I personally just became comfortable at home. And I kind of had this thought in my head, like, okay, well, maybe I need to focus at being home for a little bit, because this was kind of a thought, you know, like, oh, well, maybe I'm going to build a shop. You know, maybe I should work on building a bigger community of tattooing at home and, like, teach people about traditional tattoos, because I feel like the traditional tattoo culture was almost non-existent here in this area. You know, like you had Chicago that had really good tattoo shops and, like, traditional work. Then you had Fort Wayne and Detroit. But and Ann Arbor, can't forget about Ann Arbor. And then with Name Brand being up there and stuff. But, yeah, I just felt like I needed to stay home and kind of develop a clientele here and teach people about traditional tattooing. But that's the only thing that kept me off the road. I mean, I guess it's a lot of things that kept me off the road. A wedding, COVID, almost, you know, the whole country shutting down kept me off the road, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then not knowing how things were and hearing that things were weird. But I did a convention in, I think March. March was the last one we did a convention, and it was a breath of fresh air. It was small, and I love a small convention. And it was put on by tattooers, and there were just people. You could tell that everybody and every single person in those booths loved tattooing and wanted to be there. And I was like, oh, this is cool. So I'm trying to find more stuff like that. If I can find more shows that are smaller tattooer run shows, I'm way into that.
Well, you got another station over here, dude. Are you planning on bringing guest artists in, or what's your thought with that? Are you want to get another resident artist in here, or both?
Yeah, so, I mean, I'd love to have more guests out. This spot was made for guests to come and tattoo. Right now I've got myself, resident artist Mike, and my wife's is apprenticing right now. I'm like doing the real school, like the old school apprenticeship thing, you know, downstairs scrubbing tubes, over there painting before she even picks up a tattoo machine to think about tattooing.
Drawing the flash sheets.
Drawing the flash sheets. Got to fill up the wall before she can tattoo.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, there's a space here for guest artists, and I'd love if people came out here to tattoo. It's you know, it's pretty much no bullshit kind of thing. Like, you come, you make tattoos. I don't want anything from you. I want you to have a good time.
Yeah.
And we got a place to put you up to. Like, if you wanted to stay with us, you could. Or the hotel's right down the road too. It's 2 blocks away.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a cool shop. I think a lot of artists should get a hold of Nick and try to come do a guest spot here, because I think it's good energy in here, man. You know, you can feel the good energy already, and I think it's going to stay that way, and I just think it's going to get better and better.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You did a real good job in here, man.
Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, that means a lot, man, because I know you've seen a lot of awesome shops around this country.
Well, you have too.
I have.
You've been around a lot.
Yeah, I have. But yeah, that means a lot, though.
Yeah, I just it's tasteful, and it's not over the top, and it's just comfortable, and it's relaxing, and it, just like you said, it makes you feel like you're just kind of sitting at home and you're chilling. You know, it's just a good chill spot.
Perfect. That's exactly what I want to hear.
Yeah.
And we worked hard for that. Worked hard for that response. You know, like when people come in, I just want that. I just want them to come in and be like, "Wow, this is where I want to be."
Yeah.
I want, and then like to be friends with people too, like to make friends with other people that are getting tattooed at the same time. I fought really hard. This is kind of an off subject, but I fought really hard with putting like individual booths in here. Fought really hard with that, but I was like, I like that when people are talking, and like even if I can't talk the whole time, if I'm like working on this thing and I need to really focus, like let's say Joe Blow's over here getting tattooed next to Steve, you know, they're able to chop it up, and now they're friends, and they're gonna go grab a bite to eat after the tattoo session. Heck yeah, that's what I want. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. Thanks for talking to me and showing me around. I want to go down and see the that still. You got the still here still?
Still's gone, but you can see exactly right where it's at.
Yeah, I want to go check that out. And then I want to pull some pegs out of the wall. You want me to show me that too? And anything else cool that you want to show us or talk about?
Oh man, I think we've kind of covered it all. You've done a really good job with asking me all the things we kind of talked about. I'm really bad at this. I don't know what to do with my hands, kind of thing.
No, everybody's like that. I'm the same way.
But yeah,
I've learned to just sit here with my fingers crossed like this.
That's fair.
That's what I do with my hands, so they don't try to do other things.
I just been turning this bottle back and forth. So, but I do really appreciate you having me on here.
Of course, man.
And for checking out our spot.
Of course, dude. We're gonna put this up on YouTube and put it out to the masses on social media, and so hopefully it brings some new people in the front door. And I'm still pretty connected in Elkhart. I have a pretty big following on my social media with just people here in this area. So, yeah, if you're my friends and you're watching this, come down here to Heart City Tattoo and check out Nick's shop. And I think you'll like it. As soon as you walk through the front door, you're going to feel it. So, good place to come get your next tattoo.
Thanks so much, bud.
Yeah, brother.
Appreciate you.